You know, just once I'd like to say something healthy online. I haven't married at all. But yet again, I'm not sure how I approach this video personally, since, but be it as me, I had to go on what the information I've been given. So now in October, and once the Strongest Mutants X4 airs, it seems that there's going to be a new incarnation of the anime, Pokémon XYZ, and okay. Overall, so the first trailer got leaked. Makes sense. I was waiting for something like that to be more tangible, since even though core scans have been circulating earlier, I usually don't use those information since it can be easily faked. Given how remember what's going on in the XY launch, guys. But still, now we're saying that Traceable League we have more forms of Zygarde. That's the one that we've actually familiar with. Is now the 50% form. It's also the Cell form and Core form, which are the green globs that were previously revealed. It's also the K9 10% form, which actually looks really cool, and also the Quasi Big O Perfect form, which looks like Big O Omega. I mean, as it were, Cassidy or OCS, ye not guilty. I mean, you should look into that sometime. Every bit as awesome as the anime from the makers of Batman animated series. Sounds less important right now. And looks like I was wrong about Team Flare not appearing in the anime, since I just hope they can do something to distinguish them because of the game portrayal. Since if they portray them exactly as they were in the games, the Team Rocket still be around, it would be totally redundant. Because I still think, as villains as a whole, there's still a huge step backwards from Plasma as villains, since especially with episode N, that really worked to contrast as to how vile they were, since and be that as it may, hey, I think actually, even though I usually try not to compare the adaptations, I still think that these mangas actually be a good ball to follow, as it were. So, I mean, I don't have a scanner, but turns out, look at this, since rather than being all campy and whatnot, they actually burn Vanderbilt Town to the ground, and the main character caught in the crossfire. That's something that could potentially work, and I think, mild spoiler alert, but if you're watching this video, probably play the games as well, man, since I certainly hope you have at least that they, until this Master WND, Ancient WND plot comes along, I still don't think highly of them, and Lysander, or possibly Malva, the only ones I might be interested in, and also there's the idea of Alan. I'm sorry, I've spoken at length what I think of Alan, that his primary reason for existing is to give someone like me, as an older fan, someone to relate to. And there's a problem. With that, in my case. Because I personally do not consider Alan to be a relatable character, I consider Ash to be one. And that's... I mean, I honestly hope that he just keeps on walking, that I get to know more about him and maybe explain why he behaves this way. Because even after 3 specials, expectations for him in this arc are actually pretty low. Since that best you could maybe handle on like similar to like a Paul Hall or Trip, but maybe less condescending and less of a sociopath, which thankfully Alan isn't even, but as a thing, I can think of more what Alan isn't than what he is. And be that as it may, it definitely is going to be teased all the good stuff for the games, and it's all characters, much like, I'm going to give you some examples. Since my origins thoughts, one before that aired, that's is Batman, so let's see how this fares with Superman. Of course, Christopher Reeve, the icon, the classic, just came out in the first one of those films. Definitely want to we'll keep moving right along. Working on gonna start working on script for 2, or as after I post this, as well as you can expect a weekly Pokemon review as well. I'll with the whole thing, and he's definitely the first thing many would think of when they think of Superman. So, also going to be showing you a couple more as well. The anime portrayal, another one of my favorite ones that definitely he helped capture the high budget feel of the classic Fleischer cartoons, as well as bring the character to person like me on Airline Side Pokemon when I was on Kids WB. Yes, I'm old enough to remember what Kids WB is, and not when it wasn't just a website for, and it was actually an actual TV block. Now Cartoon Network has taken his mantle, and also gave him birth to yet more incarnation of the character. And this new one, I know many people were not fans of that movie, but I personally enjoyed it, and I still think that's the way he's portrayed the potential it has for the future installments that one was Planet Endless. So, being the new Man of Steel and all as well as Dawn of Justice. So, I read anyway. All I'm saying, these are characters. There's been many versions. I'd like to be many more, and also this one I am well aware of the mimetic scene in which that's the Arbok got bisected down the middle, and be that as it may, hey, here it is. And just to set the record straight, the Arbok survived hide in the story. It's just a common defense mechanism for real snakes, actually, but also blood being drawn, bone breaking, also quite common features of this, not only this manga, but also one of the ones I'm familiar with, which will be close to Marvel, Let's Tell Pikachu. That's ideally you could maybe have a RPG or similar Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's personally high as I'd be willing to go with me PG-13, and I still think stuff like that Apocalypse ones, but it's stuff, and also Alan. This is the kind of stuff that's going to turn next generation fans into nihilists, has made sense. I mean, it's the idea that a Pokemon trainer can't enjoy what they do that really sickens me. And there's nothing wrong, and also there's a whole thing. There's nothing inherently wrong with liking this franchise in your age, and that it's just that sometimes you gotta learn to take it as it is, not as you want it to be. That's part of the reason why I'm still doing these reviews, and why now I'm possibly amending my plans. That's my initial plan for XY was to see through the Wolf battle and then retire and maybe vlogs, but now this has come up, I'll have to reconsider it. Especially since now potentially tease a new game as well. And given this whole situation, I definitely think overall it could be an interesting arc, and that's the whole thing. It's best not to get too excited about this whole thing, since it's going to be put at the top of like episode N, Origins, and the rest of XY, in my opinion. And since I enjoy those quite a bit, and that's also another thing, you can't really expect to maintain the same level of quality you can over all this, and have the same one because you don't even know it's going to be successful. That's all sense. Sure enough, with the Mega Evolution Special, it's going to be the last one before this crossover, which I really just hope that Alan keeps on step in that regard, since that's what he's good at anyway. Be that as it may. It's really... Now, let me make clear that I don't think it's going to be bad. I mean, I try to give every piece of the fans the benefit of the doubt. That's how I go and I try to find something I like about pretty much any aspect now that I'm not a teenager anymore, and even with Chronicles and Legend of Thunder, even though I just still think that's definitely, I've made the Mega Evolution at least better than that, since I still consider the animation, voice acting, writing in that special to be atrocious. Nothing about it or Chronicles made any sense. So, if I might quote the Agony Booth, it committed movie suicide in only one installment, and that's definitely the big strike against I have it. But still, anyway, let me know I want you guys to let me know what you think of it all. That even though I'm still not sure about how it'll turn out as a whole, since as I said, it's pretty much just grasping at straws at this point, and that ideally to compete with Yokai Watch, which I still think is really like not any great shakes, except this can easily remind us why we like it so much. Can still the image of the characters that we grew up with and are still following in that in that and let's face it, guys, they have now become Pokemon has now become every as important to Nintendo as Mario, Zelda, and Metroid have been. And I can definitely say that ideally, if it is going to be teasing Z, possibly X2 or Y2 or XZ, YZ, whatever have you, it'll be for the 20th anniversary of Adventures next year, even though it's only been in the US for 18 years at that point. I mean, sometimes you gotta love loopholes. I'm also going to be finishing my favorite TV movie marathon after all this time, so I can get back to reviewing the actual movies since I get just thinking the Hooper movie is probably going to be coming out on Cartoon Network very soon, and I really want to get caught up so I can review that, and so anyway, that's about all I have to say for now. I will see you later. So bye.